So somebody, I think some new members is there who they wanted to know compliance and documentation. They wanted to know what are the requirements that we need to have to start an NGO, to run an NGO, what kind of documents we must be having and all that. So I thought this could be useful slide for them, which says registration and legal structure. Registration can happen as a trust, as a society, and as Section 8 company. So what is the difference between the three? Trust is something like a proprietary company. Like, in India, we have got proprietary business. Proprietary business means any single person, any individual can open any business by just registering himself in shops and establishment, or just register himself online on GST, take a GST certificate. Until 20 lakhs he achieves, he need not pay any GST amount. He need not collect also GST amount. But these are some basic requirements for starting. An individual can start a business. Similarly, an individual can start a trust. When I say individual, a single man. A trust can be opened by a single man, minimum number. People misunderstand this and they bring 7 people to trust. 7 people is not required for trust. 7 people is required for a society. Society is something like a private limited company, where directors are appointed, where 7 people are required even for a private limited company. And the legal compliances are very, very tough, very, very strong there. You need to keep on submitting, minutes of the meeting, then progress about the organization, the filing of many returns and so on and so forth is there in a private limited company. More or less something similar to that is there with society. Okay, society has to do all these things. Section 8 company is something where you have the ability to do NGO service pan-India. Otherwise you are confined to one particular location, and this is something which you can do pan-India. Secondly, people who have got thinking, longer vision, where you may start with something social service to start with, but you have a longer vision of setting up a factory, manufacturing products and all those things. For that, you will get enormous amount of tax evasions, tax exemptions will be there for you. So which will actually help you in setting up a factory unit, small unit, where you can, probably have team of people working on jute products and so on and so forth, eco-friendly products and all those things which you can come out with. You can't do business there, and it is the idea is totally non-profit oriented. What is it? No, you have it. So that's the difference between the three structures: trust, society, and Section 8 company. For an FCRA registration is not possible for anyone who has not completed 3 years, who has not completed 3 years of annual reports he or she must be having. Only after that he is eligible to first of all file, and there is no guarantee that FCRA will be approved unless they go through normal formalities of visiting you, inspecting you, and seeing your annual reports, checking everything, and then all those things, and then finally it will take. It's a lengthy process. They take nearly 6 to 9 months to clear one NGO's application. 12A and 80G is 12A is for those people who who are running the organization. They need not have to pay tax. The first comes the 12A, next comes the 80G. If you are not having a 12A, there are some people who have been misguided and they are holding only one certificate of this. Either they will have 12A or they will have 80G. If they think that if 80G is there, I'm good now. I have done all the job. No. If 80G is there, it is only going to benefit people who are donating money to you, right? For you, your income will become taxable. whatever revenue that comes to your NGO, it becomes taxable if you don't have 12A. If you have 12A, then you don't have to pay tax. So, but filing of returns is a must. So this has to be done whether you have low income or low revenue or high revenue or nil revenue, right? You have to file your returns. PAN and TAN, if somebody takes PAN number, they don't take TAN number. If somebody takes TAN number, they don't take TAN number. So these problems also we have seen. Both are required. Why? What is the difference between the two? Without PAN number, you can't even open an account. First of all, bank account you can't open. So PAN is a must for that. Why TAN is required? TAN is required because when you are paying to your vendors for the services that they are giving you, after certain value, you have to deduct tax, which means it is your responsibility that you must deduct the tax and pay on behalf of that person to the government. And there are certain forms for that which has to be used every month, and every month on 7th of every month, TDS has to be paid to people to whom you are giving more money, over 30,000 rupees payment if it is being made, then you have to deduct TDS. Okay. If you don't do that, and if you make that payment and send it across, then tomorrow you are actually liable to pay. To be even prosecuted for not following that. So that is, income tax authorities have got the right to do that if you don't follow that practice. So follow that practice. Annual filing and financial statements and audit reports. These are must for every single NGO, irrespective of what value you are doing. There are people who ignore this, and then after 3 years, then they say, we want to reactivate our NGO. We want to do something. So can we start, backdating and getting the reports ready and all those things? Of course, you can pay penalty and, file the returns. But why should we get into this situation? So when you are starting an organization, you must be serious enough to start. And when you start, don't think of closing. Don't start if you can't start and you can't manage. But when you start the organization, don't ever think of closing the organization because you're not able to do. You're not able to do is your incapacity. How is that other people are able to do and you are not able to do? Because you don't know how to do it. Learn. If you don't know, learn. That is the simple theory. You have to, if you can't manage your NGO, that means you must accept that you are incapable of managing your NGO. Don't blame the society, don't blame the government, don't blame anybody. Blame yourself for not managing your own NGO. Proper accounting and auditing must be must. You must, when you start an organization, you must have vouchers, you must have small expenditure also, like for example 5 rupees, 10 rupees that you are making payment. Invariably people don't account all these things, but you must have a mechanism of writing all these things which are miscellaneous expenses. All this can be added together and write one voucher later on and then put it as one expense head, right? But cultivate the habit of writing down, maintaining the ledgers, or have a mechanism of opening an Excel sheet and type out all the expenditures that are being incurred on a daily basis. Tax deducted at source, I've already explained. Employee compliance, EPF and ESI, if applicable, means that there are certain number of people if they are working, more than 20, more than 30 people if they are working, then they also should be eligible for PF and all those kind of things, which you must be giving. And documentation of activities and project plans. Every activity that you are doing, you must document it. What is documentation? Pictures is a document. Videos are a document, right? A document doesn't mean only you should keep writing about it, because people have little lethargy and a little lazy in writing out the activity report. But if you cultivate that habit, you are one of the best NGOs. Everything documented, like pictures and videos are there anyway. But if you are able to document every piece of activity in a white sheet of paper and have that as a report, when you are submitting your annual report at the time of filing FCRA and all that, it will be an amazing, wealth for you. It's a terrific wealth for you to use it. Then board meetings and minutes documentation. I don't know how many of you are doing. I'm sure Geeta must be doing this. Geeta, are you doing this minutes of the meeting and all that?
Yes, Sridhar, all your things we've been maintaining.
Excellent.
Whatever you mentioned.
Yes. Because these are standard operating practice of any NGO for that matter. This is the compliance. Every organization should have all these points taken care of.
Initially, there wasn't. We started in 2000, but I joined the committee in 2003, and I found there were no minutes and things. So then I started documenting from that time. So from that time itself, we've maintained the registers.
Very good. I'm very proud of you, Geeta, because the way you are maintaining things and all that. That's why you are growing well. Publish annual report for transparency. In your website, if you are able to even publish this annual report, it will be great. That shows your transparency. Some NGOs, we can see that they even publish their audit reports. Their financial transactions are available in the website publicly for public to come and view, which means they are so transparent. They don't want to hide anything and all that. So all the financial transactions, what kind of turnover they are doing, etc., everything is available there, right?
So just a minute here. We were putting it on the website, but then we were asked not to. So then we just put the annual reports on the website, not the accounts. But we send it out to all the donors, whether it's 200, 300 also, they get the accounts. But they told us not to put it up on the website.
Correct. That is independent decisions one can take. But I'm saying that if it is done, there's nothing wrong. It only shows that you're so transparent, and all the money that you are getting for the NGO, you are actually spending for your program. So when you're publicly mentioning this, your FCRA institutions, the grant givers and all that, they will appreciate this kind of things. If you're dependent on getting big money, right, from foreign institutions and all that, they will appreciate. But it is not relevant for people who are giving you small amount like 1,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees donations and all that. For them, it is not relevant. Okay, but for big institutions, it is relevant. And if you don't publish, it doesn't mean that you are hiding some information. There's nothing wrong in that. I am only saying that if it is published, it is very good. That's all. But if by not publishing, it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. Not at all. You're, whoever is asking, you are ready to give them.
We give it to all donors.
Yeah. So that's fine. And stay always updated with legal and statutory compliances, and every such kind of webinars or programs which are being done offline and online, try not to miss that. Participate in that, even if you have to pay for it and attend such meetings and all that. You attend because it's a platform where you can network with people. You can actually get more knowledge, and you will become more resourceful person for others, and you will learn a lot when you are mixing with high net worth people like this, who are already into running successful organizations. When you mix around with them, then their habits, their way of running the organizations, you will start learning from them bits and pieces. And that, if you can apply in your NGO, then you can slowly see some growth happening. So this is also important for you to take congruence.